Hello, welcome to Microcomputer's Marketing Plan. My name is LisaMarieRosales, and we will be going over the marketing plan for microcomputers, the last 2 years that it's been operating, and looking at a little bit as to what the future might hold for microcomputers. So what are we going to talk about today? Our market research and what it's telling us about our customers, who we want to target as our customers, the products that we think our company should market, the sales office locations and our workforce staffing requirements, advertising, where, what, and how microcomputers is comparing to the competition that's out there now. Who is our biggest threat anyway? And what are the future recommendations that we think should we offer? After deciding to go into the microcomputers business, the market research was essential in finding out what our customer needs were. So from that market research in our first quarters in business, we found out that the customers, what they were aiming for in a computer. They needed a computer that was easy to use, had multi-purpose functions, something that was secure from viruses, attacks, and is protected from loss of data. A computer that allows for service that is available anywhere, one that had fast service and support response times, and of course, our customers are price conscious. Our mission is to deliver the highest value to our customers, suppliers, employees, and shareholders as the premier microcomputers marketing, distribution, and services company globally. So with that said, our executive team wanted to target customer segments that really had the highest potential. The executive team decided that there were two segments that we wanted to focus on. One of these segments is our cost cutters. These customers use computers for word processing, budgeting functions, to talk with others via the computer, and to store information on their personal computer. So these customers are your everyday casual user. The communication to others may be through email to their brother that lives across the country, and using their computer to possibly store photos or videos of their children. So from our market research, on the right hand side, you will see that you'll find their cost cutters' top 10 needs and wants. Now, this information was crucial for our brand development team during the beginning process of developing our brand. Remember, we only deliver the best value products to our customers, so knowing who our customers are and what they are using their computer for is one of our highest priorities. The second segment that we targeted is our workhorses. These customers are very similar to our other segment, the cost cutters, except that they plan to use these computers as more work-related uses instead of personal use. So on top of the word processing, bookkeeping, data management, and communication with other computers, they also needed these computers to run business graphics and presentations. So we pictured these customers as the 9-to-5 worker bees who live on their computers in order to do their work. Again, those needs and wants were carefully considered as we developed the products for our workhorses. Microcomputers initially started off with two brands, the OS199 and the GenSite, one for each of our segments. During our second year of operation, our market research mentioned that customers enjoyed having a choice, so we introduced upgraded versions, the OS100 and the GenSite Plus. OS199 is our cost cutter option. It's a very standard desktop computer with basic software, high capacity hard drive, budgeting computer power, standard networking, and an auto backup system. The upgraded option for our cost cutters is the OS100, which includes a larger 19-inch standard desktop monitor, an expanded keyboard, mid-range computer power, and an added security suite software. The GenSite computer is our lower-priced option for our workhorse segments. Its features include a 21-inch high-resolution desktop monitor, Office suite software, additional software for business graphics, presentations, database bookkeeping, and ultra capacity hard drive. It also has mid-range computing power and an auto backup system. The GenSite Plus is our upgraded option for the workhorse segments. It includes high-speed computing power for faster processing, expanded keyboard for additional comfort, and security suite software for added security on these work computers. One note, we have noticed other segments in our market, like the innovators, are purchasing these brands as well. So after careful review, the executive team decided that a focus on the EMEA region and the APAC region would be best. The potential demand that the 6 cities had were good for both the cost cutters and the workhorses. And in the future, Paris is the next best option for both segments, with Chicago being the second best. And as you can see on the graph for both of those segments, the potential demand for Chicago and Paris are rated pretty high. So the higher demand leads to greater sales. But unfortunately, those 2 cities had strong or high startup and maintaining costs at the time that we were starting. So it wasn't worth the risk to open those two within the first 2 years, which is why we decided to possibly keep those for future investment. However, it is strongly recommended that at least the Paris location is opened up for the EMEA region, and that way it's completely dominated by the microcomputers. Let's dig down to the sales office level. Each of the sales offices were opened with 6 workers, 1 customer service support expert, 2 cost cutter experts, 2 workhorse experts, and 1 floater with the ability to sell both brands. The expectation of having that floater was the addition of sales for both segments. And with an increase in the available financing for investment during the beginning of the second year, each of the offices added an additional expert to each of the segments with the exception of Mumbai and Johannesburg. These 2 cities had a lower demand potential, so the executive team thought that only 1 additional expert in the workhorse segment would be sufficient staffing to meet the demand in those cities versus the others. And for the future, the promotion of the sales bonuses could possibly motivate the workforce to push for more sales. Additionally, professional development trainings or demonstration kits for the salesmen to use could also help boost sales and should carefully be considered before implementing them into the sales offices, because as time passes, unfortunately, the promotions have diminished returns. Our advertising strategy began with marketing focused on an ad for the Workhorse brand Gen site and a generalized ad that mentioned features that all of our products offered in hopes of enticing more people to our sales offices. And after realizing that our market research read that our ads were not judged very highly as compared to our competitors, the executive team decided to personalize those ads for each of our brands instead. Additionally, the ads were placed locally, regionally, in magazines like the General News, business magazines, sports magazines, lead trade journals, and those journals and magazines, again, were recommended by the market research ratings performed early in the second year of operation. However, these advertising efforts did not translate well for our customers, unfortunately, and still leave the advertising department as the company's weakest link. In the EMEA region, our main competitors included Rise, AdRiot Inc., Pikainen Tech, and Smartbox. This region is one of the most difficult regions because of the amount of competitors. However, Microcomputers was able to be rated number 1 in the demand over all the other competitors in this region. We also are keeping customers happy by being more affordable than 3 of the 4 competitors in this region. And we also had the highest rated ad for the cost cutter segment. As for the APAC region, the competitors there were only AdRiot and Pikainen Tech. And even though these were the only 2 competitors in this region, they still gave us a run for our money. We were 10 sales shy of being rated as the number 1 in demand for this region. We're the most affordable computer, had the highest rated workhorse brand available, and had the highest rated ad for the cost cutter segment again. Overall, Microcomputers is number 2 out of the 5 competitors. So who's our biggest threat? That's Pikainen Tech. They're rated number 1 company right now in the market. They offer more brands than us, 6 brands versus our 4. Their IGA Supra is rated higher than our OS199, which is our cost cutter option. And their demand is similar to ours, with less salespeople in their offices and higher average prices than ours. What does that mean? That they're making more money off of each of their products than we are. Why? The advertising game is so much better than ours. We only have 1 product ad that is rated higher than theirs. We have saturated our market with different advertisements, but if they are not advertising what our customers think is most important, and Pancanon text ads are, well, guess which product they're going to buy? It's not ours, which is why we need to make some changes, and they need to occur fast if we want to be on the top of the market. As we look forward to the future, it is my recommendation that the brand Oswin 100 be sent back to the development team to revitalize the brand. It was not rated high amongst our customers and did not receive many sales. Expanding our brands is strongly recommended as we move forward if we want to take the #1 spot globally. The segment of the innovators is a segment that has already begun purchasing our products, even though we do not have a designated product geared toward them. Additionally, the entire advertising department will need a great deal of revamping. Each of the brand's ads needs to be carefully studied to ensure they are truly advertising the product features that are most important to the customer needs. Now, in terms of sales office locations, I mentioned previously that the Paris location has a high potential for demand, so the next location to open up is in Paris, despite it being more expensive. At this point, we are currently in a good financial status, so the risk of opening up that office in Paris is less than before. Our sales workforce at each of the offices could be reduced by one to lower costs and increase the demand per salesperson if the brand remains the same. If we do add an additional brand, perhaps reallocating our salesmen to be in different expertise might be the best approach. To help our sales departments, additional sales materials could be developed to help boost their close rate, like the presentation kits. Adding a biannual sales bonus for the top 10% of sellers could strongly motivate our workforce and increase our sales exponentially as well. Last recommendation is to invest more into an additional feature through our research and development department. The research and development of these features are costly, however, the added features may allow for an increase in our profit margin. To reiterate, microcomputers is performing extremely well. However, with the added recommendations, we can easily turn microcomputers into the first-class global computer distributor that we initially set out for. Thank you.